Well, Jonah Hull is joining us live now from Manchester, at the scene, in fact. Jonah, what's the latest, do we know, on this investigation, especially this latest line that one of them may have been shot by the police?
Well, the scene behind me outside the synagogue where that attack took place on Thursday, still very much a crime scene. Forensic investigators hard at work, and added to their role now is trying to find out more about the revelation that one of the two victims of the attack sustained a gunshot injury fired by a police weapon, a wayward bullet likely. We will have to wait till later in the day when post-mortem analysis reveals whether that bullet was in fact caused a fatal injury or merely contributed to one. And in addition to that, there was a third injured person who turned up at hospital late on Thursday afternoon with a gunshot wound, again likely fired by the police. The attacker didn't have a gun. That injury not fatal. As you say, the suspect named overnight is Jihad al-Shami, 35 years old. He came to this country as a child, we're told. He got naturalized British citizenship in 2006, not known previously, we're told, by to counter-terrorism police. His father has taken to Facebook in the last couple of hours, issuing a statement on behalf of the family, expressing their shock, calling this a heinous act, and distancing themselves as a family from what their son has done. And in the meantime, the investigation, a terrorism investigation, continuing apace. The police confirming 3 arrests so far, 2 people, 2 men in their 30s, a woman in her 60s, arrested after raids on 2 properties locally, one believed to have belonged to Jihad al-Shami, arrested on suspicion of committing, preparing and instigating an act of terrorism.
OK, thank you very much. Jonah Hull for the update there from the scene of that attack. Well, Chris Doyle is a commentator on Middle Eastern affairs and the director of the Council for British Arab Understanding. And he spoke to us earlier saying that authorities' call to suspend protests in the wake of the attack send the wrong message.
Certainly divisive. It's not uniting at all in any way, shape or form. Let's be clear, this attack on the synagogue in Manchester is utterly despicable, coming also on Yom Kippur. There is no justification for it. There's no excuse for it. It is rightly condemned, and Jews, British Jews and Jews in other countries should be allowed to go about their daily lives, their worship, in complete peace and security. I mean, that is absolutely clear. But this should not be conflated with the right and ability of the British public to go out and protest against a continuing genocide in Gaza. That genocide doesn't go on pause. That is continuing apace, as your reports have very, very clearly showed. We're getting 50 to 100 people killed every day. We have famine in Gaza. So actually, it's very British to go out and protest against such genocide. So the utterly appalling killings and attack at a synagogue in Manchester should not be an excuse to try to stop the legitimate and right protests going ahead elsewhere to stop the genocide in Gaza. That said, there is an onus, I think, on the organisers, and I'm sure they will take this into account, to ensure that the language used at these protests in the coming days, and indeed at any protest, is, of course, not in any way inflammatory, that it is focused on what's going on in Gaza, and does not in any way try to blame Jews as a whole.
Don't miss out and get the full picture. Subscribe to Al Jazeera for reliable news and expert insight. Like, share, stay ahead.